Hello and welcome to another episode here on ChrisBits. Today I'm going to want to take a look at these ancient Burroughs fax machines. We're not going to get them working, most likely. That's not really the goal today. I put out ads for them on the internet, on Facebook and all of that, seeing if there's any other hobbyists that had any interest in them and actually using them or displaying them. Uh, Not much interest. I don't have any use for them personally, but they weigh 1,000,000 pounds and they're loaded with ancient tech. And that's good enough for me. So we're going to take them apart here on this episode. We're going to see what's in them, potentially salvage some components that I can use for future projects. Uh, just see what's going on inside of them. They're probably pretty interesting. A little history on Burroughs. They're a really cool American company from the early 1900s. I think they were actually founded in the late 1800s, but they made some of the first mechanical adding machines, essentially the first calculators. Uh, they're awesome. Very cool company, very cool history. You can look into it on your own if you're interested in it. But these are fax machines from the late 70s, early 80s, two different models. We're going to tear into them, see what makes them tick, and salvage some parts. Come along with me. I have two models sitting here in front of me. This is the Dex 3700. That one is the Dex 2100. I'm going to assume the 3700 is a bit newer. It weighs a little bit less. The plastic is different. It has these mushy buttons. So we're going to start with this one and then move to the Dex 2100, the older model, in hopes that we've progressed down this episode into things that are more interesting. Here's what I believe to be the older model. This one's pretty neat. It's got a much thicker plastic case. These beautiful buttons that you probably can't hear because of my lapel mic. But here, let me... They sound good. They sound like some really high quality keyboard switches. I think they're buckling spring. Very cool though. We're going to take these apart. This one's going to come second. I'm going to start with this next model. All right, starting with the 3700, we see it's a fax machine. Yeah, it's got a printer. It takes a dial-up connection and it transfers information between a sender and a receiver. It's not that interesting. It's cool tech, but what's going to be really cool is probably in here. So let me get this top case off. Friendly reminder before you watch me massacre this old tech. This is a fax machine. Nobody uses these really anymore. This one is completely obsolete. I've made it available to other hobbyists for free to just come pick up, and no one wants it. So let's take it apart. And we see it's a tank. Man, this thing is built. They really crammed in materials into every single space. Look at this great belt and pulley linkage over here. This is just beautiful. Very cool. Right. I got the touchpad off. I'm going to do a quick jump cut. I'm going to get some more stuff apart on this, see how it comes apart, and we're going to jump and see what I find. All right, I managed to get the side off. I've unplugged these two connectors, and it looks like the whole main board just slots out. We can take a look at it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right. Very nice. Looks like we got a ton of EEPROMs, processor of some kind. I don't know. We're going to check it out. Well, I've taken the liberty to take a fair bit more apart. You can see, pulled stuff out. There's not much more of interest. I've bent the side of the power supply wide open just so we could see inside. Nothing really that interesting. This fan is pretty cool. It has a die-cast metal body. I might save that. And I got a nice big stepper motor right here that I could salvage. But for now, I'm going to take this one off the bench and we're just going to look at the board and see what it's got. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've tossed the rest of that fax machine. I poked around in it. There's nothing more I'm interested in. Anything that I will want to salvage at all will be on this board. Though it doesn't even really look like much that I'm going to want to salvage. But still, let's take a quick look at it. Check out these chips right here. They have a very interesting package that I can't say I've seen very often. They're surface mount style, but they're actually through-hole chips. Very cool. This board is labeled high-speed modem connection, which is piggybacked off the main board and then has a connector over to this. So I don't know enough about dial-up systems to tell you exactly what these do, but still, very cool look at. Very cool to look at. Let me pop these boards off the top so we can see. Very cool. So this little high-speed modem connect doesn't have anything on it other than some 74 series logic chips. So this is really just adapting this bus here to this card, which, given this says high-speed modem connection, I'm going to assume that this is the modem, which then goes back and communicates through the modem jack on the back of the thing. So now we have a better look at this board. Like we got 6 EEPROMs. I'm going to assume this is the main processor of some sort. I will look up what these are and I'll provide you a data sheet in post. These are 8255 chips, all 8255s. So I'm going to assume perhaps they have something to do with like a parallel bus, given there's 4 of them. These look like static RAM. Very interesting. I'll provide you with a couple data sheets of relevant chips on this board here in post, just so that we can understand a little better what's going on. This is pretty neat. Here are the guts of a Burroughs fax machine. Let's take a look at the other. Quick detour. Check out what I found in a box. Another AT&T fax machine, this one a bit newer. Let's break it for parts because nobody wants them. I repeat again, I hate senseless destruction just as much as the next guy. But these truly are valueless, and they are taking up precious space in my shop, so we're going to make them disappear. Oh, would you look at that? This tiny little AT&T fax machine, the way it's assembled, very cool actually. It's on a backplane. These tiny little boards make up the computing portion of it. If I can get them out. There you go. So here we go. This slots into the backplane. Let's have it apart. Check it out. We got more of those really cool packaged chips right there. Very interesting. And on this board, we got a Varda battery and 2 of these nice EEPROMs. So that looks like about it. In this one, next to nothing. The processor and RAM is down here. All right, before I just huck the rest of this, take a look in there. You can see the processor to the left of it. To the left of it is the RAM. That's about it. Not too much in here. Not super interesting. All right, let's pop this beast apart. I know we go like that. Start with, ooh, that's a crusty belt. Let me set this down. Oh, man. All that struggle, I finally got out the motherboard. Here we go. A lot less densely packed than that last one. Mostly 74 series logic over here. A couple of ROMs. A processor down there. I don't know what that ceramic package chip is. Like I said before, I'll put some data sheets up on some relevant chips on this board. 3909A, 46304, 8223, just so that maybe we can get a better understanding of exactly what's going on here. But yeah, here's the board. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to scrap the rest of it because I don't have any use for anything else in here. And man, is it disgusting. I'm going to get rid of this thing. All right, well, I'm not sure there's very much else to do. We got to take a look at all these boards. I showed you some of the relevant chips on them. So that way we can get a better understanding, I guess, of how they function, though I didn't delve very deep into them because they're just fax machines. And they play, while they may have played a pivotal role a long time ago, not so much anymore, and I don't know. They've been kind of lost to history. It's not something that interests many hobbyists. And I really am just clearing out space in my shop here while potentially salvaging some interesting stuff. Chris, this episode sucked. This episode was boring. We didn't learn anything. We didn't look at anything unique. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. This episode more so serves the purpose of me proving to you that I will upload as consistently as I possibly can. I don't get a ton of time to come out here, let alone time to record while I'm working. But nonetheless, I'll do my best to continue to upload as consistently as possible. And it also serves as a way for me to be able to update you on some projects that I got going and what you'll see in the next videos. I'm currently right in the middle of recapping a bunch of 5150 motherboards that you saw in the last video, the 8088 Repairathon. I'm about halfway complete with it. So that video is still in the works. It's a multi-day process at this point, given how much time I have out here. So you'll be seeing that video shortly, probably the next upload. After that, we'll probably be looking at the Deckmate 3s that I've mentioned a few times here. And after that, I'm not sure. We might move on to the Tandy 1000 that needs repair, or something else more interesting. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. With all that being said, thank you for watching. I'm sorry the quality on this video wasn't amazing. I'm sorry it wasn't super interesting content, but it is something, and we'll be moving on to much more interesting things here soon. It was just something that I had to get done, and I figure could serve the purpose of me sharing some information with you. So thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next episode, which will be significantly more interesting. Please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And if you want to, subscribe.